how much do I need to start a profitable snail farming business? Is it 50,000? Is it 200,000? Is it 500,000? Is it over a million plus? This is one of the most common questions I get from people. As people want to venture into the business, people want to go into the business, they want to know how much that they're actually going to budget before they can kickstart the business. But most often time, my reply has always been that there is no specific amount of money to start a snail farming business. And in this video, I'm going to demonstrate to you here so that you can see what determines the amount that you're actually going to spend before you can start a profitable snail farming business. But before we go straight to this video, before we continue, I want to know if this is your first time visiting my channel. If this is your first time, please do well to click on the subscribe button below this video, smash on that bell notification icon so that whenever I release an awesome video, you will be notified. And also do well, like this video, share this video. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to this channel. I appreciate you so much and I do not take it for granted. So in order to go straight to the video, you must understand that there are some factors that determines how much that it will cost you to start a very profitable snail farming business. And one of those factors is what I call the farm capacity. So the capacity of the farm you want to build will actually determine how much you are going to spend. Let me demonstrate. For instance, if for someone who is actually constructing a greenhouse farm, who want to construct, let's say, 100 by 50 greenhouse farm. Don't mind my drawing. Let's assume that this is a 100 by 50 square meter greenhouse farm. You will find out that the amount of money that this man, this Mr. A, let's say this is Mr. A, and here we have, let's say, Mr. B. So you will find out that the amount of money that Mr. A, who is constructing a greenhouse farm that costs about 100 square meter by 50 square meter, will never be the same as the one that Mr. B, who is actually constructing, let's say, maybe 50 by 50 square meter greenhouse. You will now consider, for me to get this 100 by 50 constructed, you will now consider the cost of materials such as maybe your galvanized pipe, your sheet nets, and other material that you will need to get to do what? Construct this 100 by 50 square meter. And that is to tell you that there is no way that this Mr. A will spend the same amount of money with Mr. B, who is constructing 50 by 50 square meter. So it can never be the same. And for instance, for those who is actually maybe using, let's say, pen, those people who are using intensive, which make use of the concrete pen, maybe you are trying to construct, maybe let's use 4 feet by 2 feet. At least this one will accommodate about 100 pieces of snails. Then you now, probably you are trying to construct this into, maybe you are looking at having like 10 or 5 in your pen. You will now find out that the amount of money you are estimating for 5 pens will never be the same as when you are estimating for, let's say, 10 pens to get constructed. It can never be the same. So this is one of the things that determines how much you are going to spend when you are constructing your farm, a snail farm. So most time when you ask me how much do I need to have before I can start up a snail farm, it looks as if it's actually a difficult question for me to answer, because one, I have not actually determined the capacity of farm you want to construct. So for me to be able to give you an accurate answer of, okay, you need 1 million naira to start this farm, you need 100,000 naira, you need 50,000 naira, you need 500,000 naira, I must at least know these factors that determines this amount. By the time I know the capacity of farm that you actually want to start, it can now give me an idea on how much I'm estimating or I'm actually going to budget for your farm. Let's say, okay, you are now telling me that you are constructing a greenhouse of 50 by 50 square meter. I can now say, okay, 50 by 50. I know that so number of galvanized pipe will actually be needed. I know that so quantity of net is actually going to be needed. So number of blocks will be needed and every other things. From there, I can now draw the budget and tell you that you should be estimating so and so amount of money. So one of the main factors in how much you're actually going to start a snail farming business is the capacity of farm you want to start. If I want to have a farm, a snail farm that will has about, maybe I'm looking at starting with concrete pen, and I want to have like 1,500, 800 pieces of point of lay. There is no way I will now start budgeting for like someone who is actually constructing 100 square meter by 50 square meter snail farm. So you must understand the capacity of farm. When you must have asked yourself, what is the capacity of farm I want to start? Is it a 1,000 capacity farm, 500, 800, 2,000, 5,000? When you must have known that, okay, I want to start a farm that will have about 5,000 pieces of point of lay, then you will now know that you must construct a mega farm that will be able to accommodate that 5,000 without them being overcrowded. So when you must have known this now, you know that, okay, I'm actually going to spend higher than someone who is actually constructing, let's say, 50 by 50 square meter. So you must identify and understand the capacity of farm you want to construct before you can now be talking about how much that it will take you to construct that particular farm. So this is the number one factor. And then the number two factor that I'm going to be talking about is actually this is the number two, available space. Now, when you must have consider the capacity of farm you want to start, the next thing is to ask yourself, do I have the available space that will accommodate this capacity of farm I'm looking at? That is the next thing you need to ask yourself. Now, let's assume that you want to construct a farm of, let's say, just as we used before, maybe you want to construct a farm that will have, please don't pardon my drawing, that will have about 100 square meter by 50 square meter. And now you don't have the available space that will accommodate this particular capacity. Then you now know that is either it will reduce the cost of your starting, or it will increase it. How do I mean by that? In increasing it, it simply means that you need to acquire, or you need to go and acquire land or buy land that will be able to accommodate this capacity of snail you want to start, or this capacity of farm you want to start. And that acquiring land, before you can acquire land, it will actually cost you more money. I see it now. But let's assume that you already have the space available. You have, let's say, a plot of land, 2 plots of land where you want to use to start it. Then you must know that this price now, this amount now will be reduced, because you are not estimating the cost of acquiring or buying, cost of buying land. So the cost of buying land will not be included again, because you already own a land, you already have a land. So will now your budget on how much you're actually going to be starting this snail farm business will now be based on only the materials needed to get this thing constructed. So you now know that, okay, this is the only thing I'm spending. And now for those people who is actually maybe using block pen, and you are starting, let's say, 2 feet by let's say 4 feet by 2 feet, that is what you want to start. Then you now ask yourself as well, do I have the space that will actually accommodate the number of snails I want to have in my farm? Now, if you don't have this place, here 2 things are involved. Either you'll be limited, meaning that you will not spend less, because you will not be starting based on the space you have. Let's assume that you just have a small space in your place where you stay, and probably you just want to get started and grow from there, maybe acquire a nut, maybe in the nearest future you just want to start practical, and then maybe within a year and thereabout you will now acquire a bigger place and move to a bigger place. You will now know and understand that you are limited because of what? Because of the available space. So you'll be limited in the capacity or number of snails you are starting with. So this simply shows you that you either spend less or you either spend more when it has to do with spacing. Because if you don't have the space, meaning that you just be limited with the little space you have, and whatever you are constructing will be based on that space you have. Let's assume maybe I'm going for greenhouse, and I want to actually construct a greenhouse that will, that the capacity is about maybe 5,000 capacity, or let's say 10,000 capacity, and what I have is just maybe a plot of land or even less than that. Now, how can you be able to consider? You will now find out that no, you cannot be able to get that 10,000 capacity constructed because you are limited. Because of what? You are limited in the available space you have. So you will now be considering going for lesser, which could be maybe 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 or thereabout. And in so doing, the cost of construction and the cost of starting will also be low. Same thing is also applicable for those using block or concrete pen. If you are limited with the space you have, is either you will be what? You go with the little space and construct whatever that can accommodate or that can carry that particular little space you have, which will less you cost, or you go by acquiring more space to actually construct a bigger one that you want to have, which will also now increase the cost of starting. So you must understand that these two basic factors are what determines the amount of money you will start with. So most time when you ask me how much do you think I can start with, I find it difficult because I've not actually known the available space. Do you have the space to start any amount of snails you want to start? If yes, then you will now talk about, okay, what is the capacity you want to start? Now we are assuming that money is not the issue here. Maybe probably you have all the money or you don't have all the money. So whether you have all the money or you don't have all the money, these two factors must play in. If you have all the money, you must know that, okay, you must determine how the capacity of what you want to construct as the owner of the farm. Because now you have the money that can construct, maybe let's even if it's to take 20,000 capacity. Now you now have to say, okay, I don't want to construct a 20,000 capacity. Despite that I have the money, I just want to go or start with 5,000. You have decided, you have made a point. Now you now consider, okay, I have the available space now. Okay, even if I don't have the available space, I have the money to acquire more land that will house this 5,000 capacity. So that is it. But for those of you, maybe the money is the issue here now. Money is the issue. These two factors also play in. Why? Because you must know that, okay, I don't have the money. There is no need of talking about constructing a farm that will has about 5,000 capacity when the money is there. It is not there, rather. You now talk about, okay, I don't have the money. And the space itself is also an issue. So what is it that I'm talking about constructing a mega farm when the money is not there? The money to enable me to acquire more space or construct a bigger farm. So these two factors actually play in either whether you have the money to get it constructed or you don't have the money to get it constructed. So you must actually face these two things. It's actually when we must have known, maybe come to the place, we have looked at the capacity, the place you have, the space you have. We can now be able to tell you that, okay, this particular space you have can be able to get you social capacity snail farm. And you now look at, okay, I have the money, but this is what I want to go with. And then when we must have done this, we can now still and make an estimate, a budget for you that will now tell you the total, the subtotal amount of money that you actually need to start the snail farming business. But by theoretically, without all these factors in place, you have not actually studied it, you have not actually tackled these factors, and you want us to tell you, okay, you can start with 50, you can start with 100. It might not work. That is just the simple truth. It might not work. But the thing is that the one thing you must know is that there is no specific amount of money to start with. You have 100,000 naira, you go as your can start. If what that 100,000 naira can get you constructed is maybe 4 feet by 2 feet concrete span that will has about 100, then you can now construct it about like 2. You understand me? Depending on the space as well, then you can start. If actually you want to start, let's say mega, you want to start mega, you want to start, let's say 5,000 capacity, 20,000 capacity, 10,000 capacity, then you also have to do what? Construct what will actually accommodate this. So this is actually the two factors that determines how much you can start your snail farming business. I hope it is very clear, and I hope I have explained it to everyone's understanding, so that next time before you ask those questions, you can actually first of all consider these two factors. So thank you once again for watching this video. Please, if you have not subscribed to this video, do well to subscribe, share this video, like this video, so that it will help you to rank on YouTube. And also, if you have not joined our Telegram group where we share knowledge, we discuss together, is the Telegram group of Snail Farmer. Do well to check the description of this video. You will see a link that you can actually use to join the Telegram channel, so that you become part of the family. Thanks once again. See you in our next video. Bye for now.